The Battle of Kadesh. When empires collided, the sun blazed over the sands of Canaan, and thousands of bronze weapons glittered under a fiery sky. Chariots rumbled across the plains, banners waved, and the earth shook. In the center of this storm stood the young Pharaoh, barely 30 years old, Ramses II, who had already proclaimed himself a living god. He did not yet know that he was about to blindly walk into one of the greatest ambushes in ancient history, a trap that would either crush the might of Egypt or turn Ramses into a legend. The Hittites and Egyptians were the superpowers of the late Bronze Age. They collided like tectonic plates in the region known as Amurru, a strategic buffer zone between their empires. The city of Kadesh, located by the Orontes River in what is now Syria, became the point of reference. Control of Kadesh meant dominance over trade routes, regional kings, and influence throughout the Middle East. In 1274 BC, Ramses II assembled the full might of the Egyptian army, divided into 4 units named after the gods, Amun, Ra, Ta, and Seth. With 20,000 men and 2,000 chariots, he marched north, determined to teach the Hittite king Muwatalli II a lesson in superiority. As the Egyptian troops approached Kadesh, 2 ragged, dust-covered men appeared. Hittite deserters, so they claim. They told Ramses that Muwatalli and his army were still far to the north, several days away. Ramses, confident and eager to strike first, decided to move forward only 1 division, his own elite guard, Amun's division, leaving the others behind. But the deserters turned out to be spies. In fact, Muwatalli had already hidden more than 40,000 warriors and 3,000 chariots, the largest chariot force ever assembled, behind a hill near Kadesh. It was a massive coordinated ambush, and Ramses, with only a quarter of his army, marched right into it. As Ramses camped at Kadesh, thinking he had the upper hand, a storm broke out. The Hittite chariots came out from behind the hills and rumbled toward the Egyptian camp. The troops of Ta and Ra were miles away from the camp and were unaware of the danger. The troops of Ramses and Amun were trapped and stunned. Chaos reigned. The horses screamed. Egyptian soldiers fled. Chariots overturned. It seemed as if the army of Egypt would fall in a single day. Ramses, facing total annihilation, did an unusual act. He alone sat on his battle chariot and rushed to the Hittites. According to Egyptian accounts, which of course were written in Ramses' favor, he fought like a god of war. His bow shot without stopping, his sword glittered, and his horses rushed forward like fire incarnate. Ramses held the line long enough for reinforcements to arrive. Together they counterattacked, driving back the stunned Hittites. The battle lasted several hours but ended in an undisputed victory for both sides. The Egyptians barely survived. The Hittites failed to kill or capture Ramses, but Kadesh remained in the hands of the Hittites. Both empires claimed victory. Ramses II, returning to Egypt, ordered giant carvings and inscriptions to commemorate his divine triumph. On the walls of temples from Luxor to Abu Simbel, he depicted himself single-handedly defeating thousands of enemies. Meanwhile, Muwatalli II sent out letters bragging about how he had driven the Egyptians back. What makes the Battle of Kadesh truly historic is not only the scale of the forces or the near catastrophe, but what followed. Exhausted by years of stagnation and unable to gain the upper hand, Ramses II and the new Hittite king Hattusili III, brother of Muwatalli, performed an unprecedented act. In 1258 BC, they signed the first known peace treaty in world history, a document carved in stone and preserved in Egyptian and Hittite documents. It contained a pledge of non-aggression, mutual defense, and assistance against external enemies. The treaty was so significant that a copy of it now hangs in the United Nations headquarters in New York, a 3,000-year-old symbol of diplomacy born from the ashes of war. The Battle of Kadesh was not a glorious victory or a crushing defeat. It was a hard, bloody, inconclusive clash that showed the limits of empire and the price of pride. But it also marked a turning point, the moment when war gave way to diplomacy. And in Ramses' epic adventure, his miscalculations, daring attack, and ultimate survival, we see not only the drama of ancient wars, but also the birth of an idea far more powerful than the sword: peace through understanding.